Hey everybody, welcome back to Starfield Raw. This is episode number 56. I am Joe the Wigit, and we are back. Sorry about missing last week. Circumstances made it to where we could not record, but we're going to make up for it tonight with a supersized, awesome episode. And I am joined by my fellow co-hosts, starting with the plushie hunter, Archon.
Hey, what's up, guys? We're back. We're in the Starfield, and we're ready to go.
Yeah, we got some fun stuff to talk about.
I didn't find any plushies, and I'm mad about it. But
that's why I went with that name. I saw your notes. And I am joined by my fellow Andrasia competition, Kilo.
Ain't no competition, homie.
Just wipe it off. You got nothing. Well, I'm married to her, so there. And we got a little special treat for everybody tonight. The intrepid explorer himself is joining us. We have a full cast tonight, Mr. Rook.
What is up, everybody? Yeah, I'm able to make it tonight because I ended up calling out of work due to not feeling well this morning. But I'm here on a rare appearance. I've heard everybody's loving my logs.
I'm still going to play your logs on this episode because it was really good. I had a blast editing it today, so we're going to play it still in the show.
I'm going to keep this going as much as I can because I actually really do enjoy making those logs. And I do like Cytek's idea.
What was that?
It's
where
fun.
Kalen is actually not good at exploring, where Rook is not good at exploring, and he thinks he's good.
Yeah, some of the things in your log this time actually cracked me up, and I had a lot of fun messing with it.
Good. That was the point.
I've been really enjoying editing it, too.
guys, guess what?
What?
We're 18 days away.
Yes.
From today, the day of recording, we're 18 days away. We're less than 3 weeks from Shattered Space.
As you guys hear it, 17 days.
Mm-hmm. Less than 3 weeks from Shattered Space.
Unless you're listening on Saturday, then it would be 16 days. If you're listening on Sunday, 15.
Start counting down the days that way, yeah. From date of release, it will be 17 days.
Anna's been counting it down in our chat.
If for some reason you wait until the 29th to listen to this episode, it's coming out tomorrow.
There you go.
We didn't talk about this off the air yet, but are we going to do a special episode when that releases?
Oh,
I think we should.
Kind of like when the game released, we actually did a 6 and a 6.5. The 6 was our anticipation for it releasing. Then after a couple days after we played it, we got back on the air and talked about our experience. Well, let's see when it releases, and we'll go from there.
It'll be very interesting.
Well, it's coming out on a Saturday, so we usually record on Thursday, which is would be the 26th.
That gives us some time to
maybe
play.
Yeah, that's true.
So our next recording would actually be the 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
So
Rook,
we'll talk about it.
You got to make it to that one. You gonna be able to make it to that one?
We'll talk about it.
That's gonna be a big episode, man.
I'm sick.
Just use a stick day, exactly.
You look like you might be sick on the 26th. Dang.
It does. You're looking a little green, like you might suddenly fall ill.
No, not 26, the 3rd.
But I might be able to
the
3rd.
Unless we record it on a Sunday night.
Okay.
If we record it on a Saturday or a Sunday, I'm guaranteed to make it.
Well, we'll talk about it off the air.
We'll talk about it. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll let you guys know what we come up with. So we're going to get into our gameplay like usual. And the week that we didn't record, of course, Bethesda decided to release some information about Shattered Space. So we're going to get into that.
Yep.
And one of our listeners, Nixter, posted a fake roadmap for Starfield going until 2026 through 2026. But it's completely fake, but we're going to go through some points in there because they made some interesting points, and they're clearly a listener, and we'll tell you guys why later. I don't know who did it, but it's very obvious.
Maybe it was him.
Their username is really familiar. I think I've seen their username before.
So we're going to talk about it. So whoever you are, you're going to get some airtime. And we got, of course, the Mods of the Week and Rook's Logs.
Yes, indeed.
So we're going to dive right in because we got a lot to talk about. Who wants to go first?
I say Rook goes first.
Oh, Rook can go first. Rook hasn't gone in a while.
Rook can go first.
He's like, oh, yeah, just play the log.
Okay. Actually, I do want to go first because I do want to review the Rev 8.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Your opinion yet?
I tried bringing up my review in the logs in a in-person kind of way, but there are some things that out of game as a player that I kind of find interesting. Anybody who's played Halo knows how the Warthog. And this thing reminds me 100% of a Warthog.
I've played Halo a little bit, so I understand what you're talking about. And there's a lot of sci-fi games have that kind of feel.
Yeah, well, it's just the way that it drives. minus the Warthog's 360 turning capability with the wheels. The point, what's the word I'm looking for? When you aim where you want to go and the vehicle turns that direction,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of am on the fence on how I feel about that. But I have noticed they've changed the buggy to actually adapt to the different Gs.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here driving around on a 0.5 G planet doing donuts just by hitting my brakes.
Hit one of those .03 ones and see what happens. Jeez. There's no controlling that thing at all.
No, I haven't hit a high G planet yet, but I've hit a close to normal. And just the fact they went into that depth, I really like. But
That's
it
one thing I was
does
gonna talk about that on my stuff because I didn't think about it. I didn't put it in my notes, but I was on a 1.2 gravity planet, and the steering was extremely tough. It was tight. You could feel the difference.
Yeah, I can imagine. But
Well,
I really do. I do like that vehicle.
One thing I did because I had to try it because I'm just me was I turned on a hack to give me unlimited boosts and just kind of flew around in it and like bounced around just to play around on the planet and see how it was. It was a blast. I had so much fun.
You did on a 0G planet and probably go out of the atmosphere.
Oh, it was so much fun. I was just boosting around. It had unlimited boosts, so I could just pop over things, and the travel was amazing.
There are a couple of things that would change on the vehicle. One of them is that little weapon on the top. Just looks goofy on how it operates.
I wonder if we're going to get options where we can change it or upgrade it in the future. I know
it sucks.
some of the perks
It does
actually
no
enhance
damage.
it. Well, because there's perks that actually work for it.
Yeah, but it's just like it feels like I was fighting these. Like I came across in my gameplay like these level 1s, and I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna wreck these, and it took like 12 or 13 shots to kill one.
And you're just a bad shot.
No. Granted, I am playing on absolute max difficulty, remember, but still, they seem to die so slow.
But the base weapon doesn't do anything for damage.
No,
you definitely have to take the perks to upgrade that.
Heavy weapons perk gives a massive boost to it. It even counts towards your heavy weapons.
Demolitions and lasers.
Yeah.
One thing I didn't try. Can you like run things over and do damage to them?
I haven't tried that one yet.
Yes.
It doesn't.
Yeah, that's the first thing I did, man.
Yep. I come across a landing site, so I shoot over there, and I get there, and it's a couple of spacers walking around, and they start shooting at me. So you
ran them over.
Leroy Jenkins,
What if you're driving bugs on the settlement? Can you accidentally run over people like in New Atlantis?
Yes, and the authorities are not big fans of that. No.
No.
You can do it. You might not want to do it.
Oh, no. I better not drive near settlements then.
I do hope they give us the ability to upgrade it, but one thing I really do like, and this is just me, but when you get into the vehicle, it rocks. And when your companion gets in, it rocks. So it actually shifts with the weight of your people getting in, which a lot of games don't do that.
And that's one thing Bethesda's really good at, is the attention to detail like that.
Yeah.
But I give it a 7 out of 10.
Fair.
That's fair, I think.
We've talked about it on the show after it came out. It's a great starting point, and it's very clear they're going to be adding more vehicles to the game, different types.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I'm waiting for my motorcycle.
Just the menus and stuff imply that there's going to be you can have more than one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty certain it's going to be released through the creation.
Yeah, but
I'll talk a little bit more about this later, but let's stick with like the Bethesda released vehicles because holy crap, the mods are not great.
Yeah, I've been hearing. Yeah, I've heard about that.
I'll talk about that. I'll talk about that later though.
But yeah, I really haven't had a lot of time to play the past couple of weeks. So luckily I was able to get that log in and do some playing for that log. But this last week was a no-go.
Speaking of which, I'm going to go ahead and play that log right now.
It's not my fault. It has to be the scanner. There's no way I missed an entire system right next to a settled system.
Maybe I can believe that.
We'll talk about it later. Rook's log. Yeah, so, as you just heard, I completely missed the Maheo system, which is right next to the Cheyenne system. I don't think it was my fault. I think it's an issue with the scanner saying it was scanned and I ignored it, but Barrett seems to disagree. No, I know I'm right. I did not miss it. No.
No. We talked about it, but
Look, just take a look at the navigation charts and the scanners. See if there's anything else I missed, because this is getting ridiculous. There is absolutely no way exploration can be this hard,
you wouldn't be the first person to say that.
because I did not miss that system. Anyhow, back to my recording. So, yeah, I completely missed the Maheo system. But since I was going to Cheyenne anyway, I decided to pick up the R.A.W, which can be fun to drive. Don't get me wrong. But it reminds me of another vehicle I've seen somewhere. I don't remember where I've seen it though. Oh yeah, I saw it in they used to call them video games. No, we still got those now, but I don't really play them that often because I'm busy. Exploration and all. But yeah, there's a really old game from, I don't remember the year, but it is old. It's ancient. I saw it. And the vehicle reminds me of it, but it's still fun to drive. Barrett always has wise remarks to make while I'm riding around in the vehicle, especially if I'm sitting there
He chose to be like this. He has no excuse for what he's done.
and I'm looking around to see if there's somewhere I specifically want to go. And he just makes wisecracks. Oh, don't worry about me. I'm just going to sit here and check the charts while you figure out where we're going to go. Stuff like that. Tell you one thing. It's not fun to drive that R.A.W on a low gravity planet. And by low, I mean 0.7 Gs. Yeah, the thing, every time I hit the brakes, it'd start doing a 360. Haven't quite figured that one out yet. But yeah, I'm in the Maheo system, having to scan that. Spacers are no... Apparently there's spacers everywhere in the system. Jumped in, and the very first thing it did was get into a fight with spacers. Go to a planet, go to a... what's that system called? Go to a pipeline marker on the scanner, and start talking to some of the workers there. One of them tells me they're being hunted by spacers. Go figure. Well, I cleared that. The only spacers they're going to see now is if they happen to make light trails through the sky as they burn up. And it was only 2 ships. Wasn't that big of a deal. So far I've scanned just a couple of moons and an icy world. I would like to test this R.A.W on a planet that actually has good wheels, or not wheels, on a planet with good gravity, and it's not covered in ice, so I can see what it can really do. But it's neither here or there. I'll try it out eventually. Alright, well, I gotta go back to working on my ship. That last fight did take a little out of me, and I swear it's my navigational system that is messed up. I'll leave an update here soon about how those repairs are going. Rick out. How many times can you bang on an object to make it work? So Barrett was right. The navigation system is good. I might have broken it because I got upset and banged on it thinking it was the navigation system. But alas, it's not. It's not a part made by the cheapest, lowest bidder either. It's actually a good part. It was my fault. I completely missed that system. But I refuse to take responsibility. There is absolutely no way I could have missed a system right next to a populated system when I'm busy scanning the entirety of the settled systems. So, me and Barrett got into an argument. Nah, he's not talking to me right now. He's not even making food. I had to cook for myself for a change. I forgot what protein packs taste like. Let me tell you, these chunks are getting annoying. I don't know how they make so much money making just square everything. But yet, it's edible, cheap, easy, and it stores well in the ship. So, there is that. Marika, yes Marika, because I swapped out, I put Andromeda on Leviathan with my base. And had Marika stay with me. I minimize my crew count because I don't want to be responsible for more people. Especially if I get into a massive fight that's harder than I can handle right now. So, Marika has been picking up the food cooking. I mean, she doesn't offer me snacks every 5 minutes like it seems Barrett did, but hopefully he's not mad at me for long. I enjoy having him around, but he needs to start paying attention to our navigation charts, making sure things are being scanned. I'm a busy man. There's only so much I can do. And if I miss a system, and it is my fault for missing a system, he should be double checking to make sure there's nothing missed. What else does he do while I'm flying around? Nothing. Except offering me more food. You don't know how annoying this is. I'm about half tempted to kick everybody off my ship and do this solo, because then no mistakes will be made. Hopefully Barrett doesn't hear this late, or this recording on this late, but he's pretty much avoided me, and avoided reading, or stayed out of my stuff is what I'm trying to say. But I gotta get back to repairs on the ship. It shouldn't take me too long. I got enough ship parts to repair it, so I'll hit you up after I'm done with the repairs. Ow! Man, that hurt. Note to self. Brace piping before you decide to try taking a pipe off. Otherwise it's gonna smack you upside the head. One of my brace piping bracers gave out, and so I had to go and replace it. Took a little bit more damage than I thought I did. It's been a while since I've gone and had the ship actually looked at by a ship technician. I've been doing everything by hand here, but no. Oh, got a headache now. But no, I actually didn't brace one of my structural supports. And when I went to disconnect it, it swung down and smacked me square in the head. I have never seen two people laugh so hard. I was more in pain than embarrassed, but ship combat was never my thing. I was a ground combat person. I wasn't a sailor. I didn't serve in the Navy. I served on land, fighting, and in some cases just patrolling a boring outpost, which sometimes was good just to have a, what's it called, a posting out in the middle of nowhere where no fighting or nothing was going on. Never met any friends out there because usually it was like one or two people, but it worked. But back to my ship. My ship was, well, the ship repair went fairly well. It's done. I mean, Barrett helped me fix it. He's still upset with me, and he still thinks I'm an idiot and that exploration isn't meant for me. But I disagree. I've done a good job. Somehow we missed a couple of things from the scanners. There was a slight hiccup at those times with the scanners. We were able to verify that. However, this entire missed system is going to bug me until I'm done exploring it. But this entire missed system, that is all not my fault, but I'm not going to argue that. But yeah, so me and Barrett fixed the ship. We got it working, and she's almost up to 100%. I'm still going to take her to a ship technician and have a ship technician go through it bolt by bolt, nut by nut, rivet by rivet, weld by weld, and have them check everything. Make sure all the repairs are done properly, because, you know, field repairs are never as good as full station repairs. But it looks like I gotta get back out to exploring. I gotta finish up this system so I can go further away from the settled systems. I want to check over by New Atlantis, make sure I hit all those. I know the Sol system's already been explored a lot because, you know, that's where we came from, but I'll probably knock that out too while I'm thinking about it. But yeah, look forward to my next series of vlogs in the next week or so, because by then I would have tested my R.A.W. on a high G world and a normal G world, and we'll see how it handles on both of those. I don't like the look of it, but beggars can't be choosers. Alright, y'all have a... Why am I saying y'all? I'm talking to myself. I need to stop acting like I'm talking to a lot of people. This is all for me. Oh, well. That's it for this vlog. Rook out.
There you go. You guys got a double dose of Rook tonight. Today
That was amazing.
We're sorry.
That was so good. Yeah. We apologize to
I don't know
the
how you were
authorities
able to record your conversation with Barrett like that, but that was great.
Oh, yeah. Fantastic.
But it's mad.
Fancy.
It's magic.
You
It's
friendly
mad.
Good with
voice
those
actor or
recorders.
something?
Do you
All
believe
right.
in magic?
Kilo, what have you been up to, man?
What have I been up to? Oh, I didn't know I was going next. Okay. I was even down there. I try to keep to the top of my notes when we do this because I don't like
I was
like
gonna
reading
go,
ahead.
but-
I want to.
Yeah.
It's all good. I can roll with it. Actually, because Rook has been absent. I took over his role
Of Explorer.
as an explorer.
Oh,
Yes.
really?
Yeah. Well, no, not to your extent. I ain't gonna try to front. But I put out. I believe I mentioned it last week. I put out a request across the social media, like, "Hey, what are your favorite planets?" and whatever. So I got a big list of planets that to visit. So the last episode, excuse me, not last week. And yeah, it's a long list. So I checked out a couple of different ones. I checked out Alcheba 9A. I checked out, I'm not going to go into detail into all these. I don't want to spoil it. These are cool planets. If you hear me say it, you can check it out. They are cool. Alpha Turnion 3, Bell 1A, Cassiopeia 1, and Hodos, which is in the Cheyenne system. All really, really cool planets. But my favorite one that I checked out was Andromos 2 in the Andromos system. Right off the top of my head, I can't remember where it's at, but it's just a really, really beautiful planet. And the thing, I took a bunch of screenshots, and maybe I'll actually keep my word this week and post them in Discord, so I'm bad for that. They had my favorite thing about it is they had these flying stingrays flying around. Have you guys seen
I've
this?
seen those.
Oh, yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah, dude. I got a couple of great shots of them in flocks and stuff. So I spent a lot of time, my game time last couple of weeks, kind of tooling around in those planets. I don't, you know me, I don't survey and do any of that.
No,
Stuff, but
I think in my entire
those were cool.
hundreds of hours, I've surveyed one planet.
I've not even done one to completion,
Well,
unless you
try
count scanning from space. Those
Fun
I
fact,
kill at those.
fun fact, I just had to look it up myself, but a group of stingrays is called a fever. Of
Oh,
stingrays.
yeah.
A
Oh.
fever of stingrays.
A fever.
Rest in
Yep.
peace, Steve Irwin.
I want to know who
So anyways.
comes up with these names.
I don't know, but I had to look it up.
I don't know. I like murder ravens. That's my favorite.
Yes, murder.
I was trying to say that, but I forgot I had my mic muted. But yes, agreed.
Oh. So I continued. Of course, I did all my shipbuilding. I was really just kind of scrapping and restarting all over again because I was frustrated with my lack of ability to glitch because I'm an addict to it like that. But when I was going through, I started the Crimson Fleet quest line, and when I was on the key, I was putting the multi-jammer on my ship, and I noticed that there's actually... What's that?
This is something's kind of funny. I just finished Crimson Fleet. We talked about that last episode.
Oh, okay.
You just finished the Freestar, and now we flip-flopped on this episode.
Yes, we have. But okay. What I was going to say is I remember I talked about the Eleonora's Crimson Fleet habs a while back. Still stand by it. It's a great mod. But when I went to the key, I don't know if I've just never noticed it before because it's only available on the key, but they have an Armstrong cockpit. Was it Armstrong? Hope Tech cockpit. Wow.
To bleep that out.
You're gonna have to bleep that out.
Pick, huh?
Yeah.
Clock pit, sure. Anyways, that's a Crimson Fleet one, which I didn't notice before because I remember talking about how I wanted them to have like more Crimson Fleet stuff. So I started going through the different modules, and I also found a cargo module that has the Crimson Fleet skull on it, which I also never noticed before. I don't, and that's from that, but that one came out of Britain's Aventech mod.
So if you have
That
the
was an
mod,
Aventech piece.
if you have the mod that lets you get all the pieces at your base, are those included as well, like the Crimson Fleet ones?
No, Crimson Fleet stuff. For Eleanor's mod, you can. Jesus, man, my mouth today. For Eleanor's mod, you have to either go to the Red Mile or for Crimson Fleet stuff. That stuff doesn't go to everything to your base or whatever.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so that was cool. Yeah, and I was going through because I had added a bunch of mods, obviously, and I had picked one out. I added one that was supposed to be a hangar for the Rev 8. I don't know if you guys had seen this one yet, but that's
Yeah.
exactly what it is. It's supposed to be a place in your ship where the
Yeah.
Rev 8 is actually stored. Yeah. It's just not for me. I checked it out. It's well, I'll get into that more later. It's just I wasn't particularly impressed with it. So when I started the Crimson Fleet this week, I realized that every time I joined them before, I did it through the Vanguard. I've never joined them any other way. Well, when I was running about and exploring and checking different things out, I come across some contraband, and I forgot I had it on my ship. So when I decided to go back to do some main quest stuff back in New Atlantis, I got stopped.
Oh, really?
And
Oops.
yeah, believe it or not, I didn't have shielded cargo or nothing on. I completely forgot I was on my ship. Well, I'm sorry, officer, that's not mine. They didn't buy it. So that was actually pretty cool. Have you guys gone that route? Have you gotten caught and joined the Crimson Fleet that way?
That's the
Because
way
this
I
is the first
did
time
it
I
the
did it.
first time. The very
Yeah.
first time I ever did Crimson Fleet, it was because I got arrested for something.
How I did it was because I remember talking about on the show because I didn't do the Crimson Fleet yet, and they were telling me, yeah, you have to go to jail to do it. I didn't even do UC yet, so I didn't know there was a split off there. So I
Yeah.
went and lockpicked one of those bank terminals in front of everybody just to purposely get caught.
Oh, okay.
And that's how I joined it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool, man. It's a nice little intro with the commanding officer. His name slips my mind now, but
It's a very different thing when you go route of
Kinda.
being caught or when it's your choice.
it's definitely got a different feel to it. It's kind of cool. I like it. It was a good first experience as long as I've been playing this game. But so that's always an option.
Really, if you think about it, when you're doing those two different routes, if you're planning on going the good guy route and joining and just doing Vanguard, then you want to go the route of doing the UC and then splitting off as like an optional mission. But if you want to join the
Right.
Crimson Fleet, then by all means, role play the crap out of it. Get caught doing something.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, that was my next playthrough, my evil guy playthrough. Andrasia and I are good. Okay, so I don't have to
Finally.
like rebel and burn the galaxy to the ground. Yeah, so my next NG, I will probably be going Crimson Fleet, 100%.
Yeah, I will be too.
But speaking of Andrasia, I was cracking up because last night I was playing through the part where you go down to the lock
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and as part of the initiation and stuff. I love having Andrasia with me during Crimson Fleet missions.
Isn't it
She's got
awesome?
it's some of the best dialogue she's got in the game. Is with Delgado is like, your friend can follow us to the facility, but they stay outside. And Andrasia's like, all right, yeah, cool. I'll just stay out here. Just remember to thaw me when you come back on. And then
she says is
all
hilarious.
Oh, dude, her quipping with Mathis is just solid gold. Like, just takes no BS.
And
I think
even
it was
when
at
you-
the end of that.
When you go do
What was that?
the cruise ship one, that
Yeah.
yeah, you listen to her when you're going through that. It's even better.
Okay. Yeah,
It's
I
by
haven't.
far
I
my
haven't.
best.
Yeah, I just went back to the Vigilance before the Trident, so I'll be doing that one next. But it was like, man, it was like, you ever need extra gun, let me know. And Andrasia was like, I think we got it. Basically, it was so perfect. But yeah, I just let the Crimson Fleet. I think is fun because I feel more inclined to be a smartass, like choose the smartass remarks. out of the options. Like the UC, I'm like, all right, I don't know, my old days back in my early 20s kick in, and I'm like, yes, sir. But when it's like Delgado or especially Neva is really fun. If you give her, all the smart aleck answers. Had a lot of fun with that. But and then because I had made it that far, I was actually able to go and get my favorite pirate from the key, Jessamine Griffin from the Last Nova. The only problem is that my ship that I was using, the Fallen Sun, which I built to be a pirate ship, only had 9 crew slots, and I didn't want to get rid of anybody, so I ended up switching to the Legacy Rose, which I posted pictures of previously. It was a big blue ship.
That's something I've
'Cause I
never
got
done.
16 slots.
Other than actually hire someone from a bar, which I've never done still,
Yeah.
is I've never had more than like 2 or 3 crew members. Even though I know there's big benefit to it, I just never done it.
Yeah. I think it's
role-playing wise,
Go ahead, Rook.
I just don't see a purpose in it until they give us bigger ships.
Well, there's purpose
Well, I was
to
gonna
it
say
because they benefit the ship. They increase your systems in different areas.
Yeah. I mean, roleplay wise, I was going to say it. I like having all the crew because the ship feels more alive. You do get the benefits mechanically, of course, but you have a lot. There's actually a lot of systems on the ship if you look at all the different halves. So, like, I have to have Rosie because Rosie is doctor. I have an infirmary. I have to have, of course, her and Andrasia are always on there. Barrett's always on there.
If we ever get those
I kicked his
M-class
Sam
ships,
and-
I can definitely see crewing the snot out of that thing.
I could
Yeah.
see, yeah, and I could see using like I don't know why people like a lot of people. I mean, because you have all the options of all those people that run around different bars and stuff that they're not named. They're just whatever their job is, but that's not as fun. I
Yeah,
don't
I like
think.
the named guys better. I always try and
Yeah.
collect this. Anytime I can collect one, I try and collect them.
Yeah, me
I've
too. That's
gotten
why I
quite
got.
a few of
So,
them.
Just remember,
so
you
now
gotta
I
collect
now
them all.
You got a what?
Collect them all.
I got collect them all. Gotta catch them all. I think I got most all the named characters I've recruited now, except Mathis because I'm not far enough along in that, and there might be a couple more, but I got pretty
I've
much
never
everybody.
done
But
anything but kill that guy.
who, Mathis? You really don't like him?
Yep. I get a weird pleasure about taking him out later
He
on.
ain't so bad. He is kind of the guy that you have to warn your other friends about before you introduce him. But yeah, that was pretty much most of my week. A little bit of mod stuff I'll get into later. Quite a bit of exploring, which really doesn't translate well to audio. So
It can.
That's
You
all I
get
got.
creative with it. Just saying.
I could. I just,
Rook's been getting creative with
oh,
it.
good. That's true.
I had to benefit the show somehow.
I'm not going to be away from the show. We don't want you to. Archon, the man who had to start over, and it's like fresh to him.
I
What
don't
happened?
have to. I just chose to.
Again?
No.
No.
When I first came back, I just started over
No.
because I didn't remember anything. So like I'm just going through it again
I was like, wow.
And
and
he hasn't-
enjoying it.
He hasn't done the settings until now, and all that cool new stuff. So he's getting new experiences.
There you go.
One thing I
Copy
noticed,
that.
like big time, like I don't know why I didn't really pay much attention to it before, but like the people in Constellation just look so much different to me now. They
Really?
look like,
What do you mean?
way better.
Oh, they did some NPC tweaks.
Like
A while ago.
Mateo used to look like a
Oh, yeah.
straight nerd, and now he looks like a normal person to me. And I don't know, there's definitely a lot of graphical enhancements that I've noticed. I did something that I've never done before.
Really?
Okay.
I ran into the casino ship. I've never done it. Never
Really?
done
Oh, really?
it. And let me tell you, it's not easy when you have everything turned on high.
No. On extreme?
Yeah, I
no.
know that.
Nope, I died a couple times, but I did make it through. I got both of the little caches in there. Although one of them, the second one, I knew it was there from Wigit telling me, but it took me forever to find it.
Yeah, in the
I
vents.
was wandering that place. I was like, "Where is this stupid thing?"
It's
but
gotta
I
be
did-
here.
I just finally found it. Made me some credits, and while I was there killing like spacers and stuff, one of them dropped the outpost or whatever the heck quest it's called that takes you to the Mantis. So naturally,
Secret
I'm
outpost?
like,
Yeah.
I gotta go do the Mantis. Another quest that is not easy on. Very
yeah.
hard.
No, it's really not. Especially you get in that one
Oh.
room before the turrets where they have
Yeah, there
all
was
the
some
elites
dude in
there.
there that was like level 36. He took like every bit of ammo and everything I had like to kill. I had to like wait for
Oh.
my follower to revive like 3 times because I was out of ammo and she was the only one who could still shoot.
Oh
That
my
is
god.
exactly
Been
why
there and
I
done that.
did that quest early in the game.
Yeah.
I'm only level
man.
5. Dude, I'm only level 5.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Really? And
that's
it threw a
painful.
level 30 at you?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy.
It is no joke. And then I'm like,
Archon's got like plus 300% on his experience points for it because he just cranked everything up when he went
I
in there.
turned everything all the way to max.
Killed one thing in the beginning of the game. Level 2.
It's like plus 85% or something like that at max. But like, yeah, I'm not very far in. I went and got Andrasia because I mean I kind of had to get Andrasia, and
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
natural.
knowing a little bit about Andrasia's backstory, I never noticed that when you first get her, she's like being jumped and murdered, and she's murdering a bunch of Varun.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Mhm.
oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
She
That's
does
kinda
not
cool.
like zealots. The zealots, whatever you want to call them. That she hates them.
Zealots.
Zealots. Thank you.
Yes, she
What-
is
my
zealous.
brain is not functioning properly.
I
And, you know,
can't talk either.
You forgot how to brain today?
yeah, exactly. But I am convinced that the only way to do 0G fights, because I hate them, is just heavy weapon spray and pray.
Dude, I do not like 0G at all. It reminds me of those old school clunky games where you're swimming that just have really bad movement controls. I don't like it. It does
Dude, you gotta
nothing
get-
goes the way I want it to go. I don't move in the directions I want to go. However, I don't know how my luck is what it is, but I found like while I was in there, one of the spacers I killed gave me a legendary what is it? MA88 or one of the weapons I really like.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
yeah, so now I'm happy.
That's nice.
Those are my favorite weapons, and to find one like right at the beginning of the game, that seems to always happen to me, and I love it.
See, I
I've been
won't start
hunting
over with a
decent
new character.
Beowulf the entire
be-
time.
Yeah,
Which
I
is
won't
shaking
start
his
over with a
head.
new character because there's no way I could go in the beginning of the game without finding a hard target.
Yeah.
I've done that.
Yeah.
It stinks.
I don't know. I love my it's got like a grid of like 12 little lasers coming out the front of it, and then it
Yeah.
just black. It goes through ammo pretty quick, but it just now that I can make ammo, who cares? It's just blast,
Right.
That is
I'm
one
a-
thing I was so happy they added.
dude.
I have
Yeah.
yet to have to make any ammo for my Beowulf.
One
I'm
of
still
my
running
biggest
around with
complaints
13,000 rounds.
One of my
Jeez.
biggest complaints early on was always being out of ammo. So the fact that I can actually like remedy that,
Rook's just an ammo dump. You see when there's this Explorer pack, it's like 15 times too big and it's just full of...
It's only the 7.77 millimeter. I've sold everything else.
well,
Yeah.
now that we
Yeah.
got like now that we can do like mods and stuff, like I said, I've played through the game, so I don't care. So I'm like short of God mode, I'm playing with lots of different mods, and one of them gives me tons and tons of ammo. So
Oh, jeez.
You want some help on those
Yeah.
0G fights, man? Go and get Robo Dog Meat.
mm,
That thing's a beast. That's how I ended up going through Casino.
I should still go pick up Derek. It seemed like
Yeah.
I feel like that
There you
should
go.
be my follower. That he just
It's a calling. It just
something
is
about
destiny.
it just something about it just says it screams
Just
me.
feels right.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, I went so disappointed. Went through the entire casino, not a single plushie. Went through the entire layer of the mantis. You'd think, a cool guy like the mantis would have plushies all over. Not a single one to be
A
found.
cool lady.
And I went.
Cool lady,
well,
that's true.
The mantis is whoever takes up the mantle at the time.
True.
Okay, he's kind of got you there.
And
But the previous one was a lady, so I'm just...
okay, fair, but like, okay, even more reason she should
Yeah,
have
exactly.
plushies around. Not a single one. And I looked like careful too. I went through there slow, and not a single plushie. I was just so disappointed.
Wah wah.
Yeah.
I know,
Welcome to my
but
world.
I got my razor leaf now, and the first thing I'm gonna do the next time I play is make it my own. I can't wait. I've been waiting to get that ship so I
Okay.
can mod it up and
Oh, I love it.
change it.
It's one of the 2 ships in the game that you can completely destroy, and it still has its legacy attached to it, and get special events
Yeah.
with it, and
I can't
definitely worth it.
wait. I've been waiting to build a ship.
Have any of you guys done the new story mod yet?
Nope.
Escape?
Not yet. I haven't got
No.
the story
I haven't.
yet. I got
haven't
until Shattered Space to get through the story.
True.
And knock out all the main 4 quests.
Yep, you gotta do that.
I just
I gotta
got
be ready.
back into the game on my desk. Handles the game better than my laptop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Fair.
Like my desktop, I'm still in love with the thing. Having everything set to ultra is incredible. Is there anything else, Archon?
that was about all I did this week.
I have something to highly recommend. I tried it for the first time, and it was a game changer for me. And that is turn off the music completely. Ian Zerd, amazing work. Love his music. But when I turned the music off completely and turned up all the ambience to it, the game became 1,000 times more immersive to me. Like, walking through Aquila, I could hear the wind and hear the people talking and all the nuances. It made me feel like I was walking through Aquila. I didn't hear all that because of the music before. When I turned everything off, and when you go into your ship, all the little nuanced sounds that occur from it, highly recommend it. If you haven't done it yet, turn off the music and just immerse yourself in that. Yeah.
So I don't kill the music. I just turn the music down and turn all the sound effects.
I killed the music completely. I just wanted to feel the game.
Heck
And
yeah.
there's great music. I have that music memorized, but I wanted to try it like that. I'm going to keep playing like that because I've enjoyed it way too much.
I can't believe I didn't think of that because I did that with Fallout 4. I remember doing that with Fallout 4. Just if you turn everything off and just listen to the wasteland, it takes it like next level.
Because they did a lot of great sound effects in this game, especially when you're going through Aquila.
Yeah.
It's incredible. It really makes you feel like you're in an old western town.
So what I'm getting is when you go to Aquila, turn the music all the way down. Everywhere else, turn it all the way up.
I did it on all the planets too. Even the planets sound different.
No, I know.
That's kind of cool.
I could see like that would, it would make it a lot more immersive, and like you'd know, like there's a lot of times when like things sneak up on me that wouldn't be able to sneak up on me if I could hear them. And
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
interesting.
Speaking of Mathis, he came after me with 3 of his buddies, and it was not even a fight. I was laughing the entire time. I think I blew them all up with one volley.
Nice.
Took all of them out. Mathis got one word and boom, dead.
Yeah, they pretty much come in pretty hot, but you know.
I toyed with him when I took him out. I took out his buddies and then shot out his engines, and then just every time something killed, shot it back out. So he had nothing.
I never use.
So petty, I love it.
I have targeting unlocked, but I hardly ever use it. And I got to do that more.
Boredom
I
and
have
steal his
used
ship.
it. I have used it.
See, that's what I wanted to do. Actually, Archon, that's what I was going to do. I was going to actually board his ship, beat him up a little bit, and then take it. But I blew it up.
There you go.
It literally was not even.
You gotta have the EM weapon.
Yeah. My destroyer is not built for that.
I really wish you could actually blow people out the airlock.
Oh, that would be awesome.
That would have been the way to go, man. Yeah.
Watch them float away.
Yeah.
So I started doing the main story until I wanted to get up our upcoming expansion of awesomeness, but I got to the point where I now have to do Entangled and the NASA Launchpad, my 2 least favorite quests in the entire game. So I was like, nope, not doing it. Not yet. I didn't have the patience for this. So I went and did Freestar. Started doing that again.
There you go.
Oh, okay. When you're doing the farm and you have to go through the valley to go hunt down those guys, right. I found out you could actually go on top of this, not valley, canyon.
Canyon?
And I was going from ledge to ledge to ledge inside the canyon, sniping everything, going ledge to ledge, and it still had me the quest to go back to find the footprints. I never did. I wanted to see if I could just find the camp on my own and what would happen. I got to the camp. I was going to snipe everybody right there, but I decided not to. I just flew in there and did the story, and it automatically updated the quest. So I didn't have to worry about it at all. It made that little traverse so easy.
That's brilliant.
Driving the Rev 8 on near zero gravity is definitely a test of patience. I highly recommend not using it. I couldn't go in a straight line to save my life. I would hit gas and I'd be fishtailing everywhere, every which way.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
Yeah, you hit a pebble and you're going 15 feet in the air.
Just press forward on the joystick and your thing will not straighten out. It'll just keep
it can't get any traction. There's no way to get traction.
Yep.
The whole buggy probably weighs about 3 pounds with your weight in it.
Right.
So now we got to have someone invent stabilizers for that thing. That'd be amazing. Okay, I have put a note in here. Is that something that was bugging me, and I can't remember what it was.
Must not have been that bad.
It just occurred to me what was. None of the planets move.
Oh, yeah. They don't rotate around the sun. They don't have an orbit.
Right.
They're always in the same position every time you go to a system.
Yeah, the only thing I've noticed is that it revolves around its own axis, but it doesn't.
Not around the sun.
But not around the sun, yeah.
And that, for some reason, that was always bugging me. I couldn't place it for the longest time. Like, why do these maps bug me when I go to them? Oh, right. Because the planets never move.
Right.
The moons will rotate. You can see that on the axis, but the planets do not go around the sun. I think that was just a little bit of a minor drop of the ball there. Not a huge deal, but it can change the environment when you're inside the planet.
Mm-hmm.
I think something like that would matter more if they brought back the fuel requirements that they used to have, like for the engines and stuff. And if you're going planet to planet,
I
do I have
mean,
enough fuel to, you know what I mean? Like if the planet moves, it's going to take you longer to get there. Maybe
Joe, I mean, Wigit does make a good point though. Like
Joe's fine too.
some of those planets, like if they were revolving around the sun, like areas that are like complete ice, if they got closer to the sun, it'd be a lot less ice and could change the whole surface of the
Yeah.
change
planet.
the
Like,
Or just
landscape.
planets having seasons.
Yeah.
Right,
What it
right.
would cost.
That's probably why they didn't do that, was because of that purpose. They would have to program the stuff in, and it would be a
and
large
most of the
undertaking.
since huge majority of the planets are random generated, that'd be kind of tough to do.
Mhm.
Still possible. I can
It is
actually in my
possible.
mind
Right.
I can come up with the what we used to call it, the strategic development plan. So you can see like what needs to be done. You start what is the end
Right.
result, and you build backwards. What needs to be done? What needs to be done? What's
If
done until you
then.
get to the very base,
Whole lot of if thens. If the planet is in this position, then use this code.
which is what
Let's see.
programming is. It's all
Right.
yes or no sequences.
Mhm.
Right,
So-
but you'd have to do that for every planet in the game that had any kind
Well,
of vegetation in it?
You just put in
You
parameters.
can-
Like so
Right.
this is another thing. I went into the creation kit finally, and I started working on my mod. I haven't gotten very far
Okay.
on it, but I started working on it. I had to relearn how to do it in the engine. It's a little bit different than the engine I was used to working in, but it's all there. And when you go into the planets, they give you the parameters set for the planets. You can't edit them right now. You can edit some of the parameters, but you can't change them. So you can't
Right.
add new planets yet. They have that locked out.
Gotcha.
But you can build like points on the planet. You can either do a stationary point or a random generated point, but they have all the parameters for that planet there. So all you have to do is just tie it into those parameters. If a planet meets
okay.
this parameter, you can do this. If this one, you can do this. If it's in this position, it does this. It would be kind of an interesting sheet to look at, but it can be done. I think a team of programmers and a couple designers would take them about a month or two. With
Wow.
the systems already in the game, it's very possible.
Do you think that's something we could see?
Yep, I think
That'd be
very
cool.
much so. And I'm excited for Bethesda to release the ability to build planets.
I want to
If
see
they ever do.
each individual planet have its own day-night cycle for the NPCs on that planet.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm with Rook on that one.
A day night
That
cycle would
drives
be
me-
amazing.
That's things that would
Yes.
build immersion in the game in a big way.
Skyrim had it.
Well,
Right,
the Skyrim was one land. When we worked on that game, it was easier.
That's true. That's
Doing
a little bit different, but
yeah.
I'm just saying it's
Uh,
weird that no matter what time you go to a store and anywhere, it's always the same dude, and they're always there.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of the Wagner farm, it's the first time I've actually went and explored that farm, and they have some really messed up animals. Have you guys seen the Blumix? The
No.
Blumix is like their cow. The thing is so fat that it's got an inch clearance on the ground and looks like you could roll it. And the face of
Probably how
that thing,
they get it around.
yeah, it looks like the face of a platypus on a giant oversized cow that's leather with no fur or anything.
Hmm.
And it has little teats for milk that are just scraping along the ground as it walks. And they're aggressive apparently.
Some of these creatures that we see in this game, all right, the boys were on acid coming up with this stuff. Dude.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
First thing you do is go to Blumix. You go see the Blumix at the Wagner farm. You'll get
Let's
it.
check that out.
Here's what they did. They got AI. They said, "Hey, design this creature. Here you go. What are we
No.
going to do with this?" I know. Here you go.
Right. So have you guys ever noticed the movie posters in the game?
Yes.
Yeah,
I
I've
never
noticed
really
a
stopped and
lot
paid
of
attention to them.
I've noticed a lot of the artwork and stuff in the game.
yeah.
The horror
I got
at
the,
Outpost 11, really?
Mhm.
I got the mod. I've been meaning to mention it. I got a mod that was it like redoes all the posters and billboards in the game. It looks beautiful. It looks absolutely amazing. So I pretty much look at every poster I see just to see if it's something I haven't seen yet.
Return of the Interceptor 2 or Return of the Interceptor was cracking me up. Like the cheesiest action flick you can come up with.
Right.
Have
Sounds
you
like
noticed
something
that like
the 80s.
in the lodge there's a painting right by the door to go out? Like if you're looking at the door, if you look to the right, there's a big painting on the wall that looks like Gordon Ramsay.
No.
I didn't notice that one.
If
I
it's
did not notice that.
if it's not modeled after Gordon Ramsay, then I don't know who it is because it looks just
Okay.
like him.
I have to check that
Some
out.
designer's
Yeah.
dad.
Yeah, go look because it looks just like
Yeah, it
Gordon
might be.
Ramsay.
So the last thing I'm going to talk about is Hope Town. So they always talk about it being a town, a community. When you talk to the employees that they live there, there's no town there. It's just a factory.
Mhm.
There's a
Nothing.
few offices, the bathrooms, and the factory. That's it. There is. I went all around that place. I looked all around it for miles. Nothing.
Oh yeah, I tried exploring that place and couldn't find anything. I guess they sleep in the ships they're building.
I guess so.
Yeah,
Where do you live in?
I was
Closet 3?
right. Well, when I first went, I checked out, I explored around there too. And what I was expecting is we got a thing. I don't know how common it is, because we got the big three in Detroit here, and we have a lot of communities, especially downriver, that are called bedroom communities. And these were communities that were specifically built expressly to house the families of the auto workers that would work in Detroit. So you got downriver, you got like Allen Park, Lincoln Park, Southgate, Taylor and Trenton, where it was literally just, this was here for housing. So I was looking for like, okay, well, it's like a factory town. My first thought was, okay, well, there must be like maybe a little side village or something. I'd like to see them add something like that. Make it look actually lived in.
Do they have like maybe even like the crates or anything from
No sleep
Neon?
crates. I looked everywhere.
No sleep crates or anything?
It looks like people are pulling up a blanket in the nearest hangar and calling it good. I don't know.
Right.
Anyway, let's talk about what Bethesda has released about Shattered Space, shall we?
Let's.
I was given approval to talk about one thing, but the first thing I mentioned was 50 new locations to discover and explore across Varun Kai, which is just the planet. All they built was just the planet, guys. But they made this planet the most detailed location they've ever put into a game yet, from what I've been told. Like, it's not like the other planets where you walk around for miles and see nothing. You'll see something everywhere on this planet. And almost all of it was handcrafted.
Wow.
Okay, so it's actually
All right.
a populated planet.
Big time,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
It's like they're trying to correct one of the things that people were having problems with at the beginning of the game.
Right.
So that's going to be very interesting. So what do you guys think about that?
I hate
I
it.
mean,
Yep.
an explorer like Rook, I mean, how's he going to explore if there's just stuff everywhere?
Urban
It's been
exploration.
10 years around that planet.
Urban
I mean,
exploration.
are we talking like a Coruscant situation, or like is it just like little towns, or is that even mentioned?
Can't say, but they said that each location would be very specific and handcrafted, and there's quite a few. And there's actually more than 50, but they just said 50 for now. But there's little things you
I'm
can come
into it.
across. Yeah, I'm wondering if they're
Yeah.
going to put actual
So-
events that can occur while you're walking around the planet.
You mean to tell me they have more than just one major outpost on a planet and then that's it?
Right? Apparently,
Yeah.
Varun Kai has been very, very, very populated.
So is this whole expansion just Varun Kai?
Pretty much. There's
That's all we
other
get?
little
Is
things.
one new planet?
There's other little things we'll come across, but yeah, that's the
Well, I mean-
heart of the expansion.
If they've been isolationists and haven't really been expanding and following the religion and the culture, whatever like that, makes sense that they would stick to one planet. So it'd be more.
If you
built
think
up.
about it, honestly, if they spent these generations and generations of building on this planet like Earth,
Right.
you'll spend more time exploring this one planet than you did 10 systems.
True.
Wow.
But
It must be a huge planet.
we are looking at a game that is set in what's the time frame again?
2330.
Yeah. By then, all of the major planets should have a big population on them and not just one major city. So
Yeah, you'd think.
Varun Kai sounds like exactly what I would expect on all my other big settlement cities. Planet.
Yeah, you're
I
not
wonder
wrong.
if this isn't just a. I wonder if this is not just a first step to maybe we'll get updates that where they're
That's what I'm
populating
thinking too. Yeah.
Jemison and Aquila and stuff. Yeah.
I'm expecting to see more cities as the game progresses. We know that they had one city they took
Yeah.
out near the end. I'm excited to see when that comes in. I would love to be able to go back in time and see the name. I forgot of it. During the UC quest, you have to go there. The city that got wiped out.
Londinium?
Londinium. Thank you. I want to see that
Londinium.
actually populated at some point.
See, like, the thing I
Pretty
worry
cool.
about then is if it's just this one planet, we're going to have an entire expansion worth of content, quests, like, all that in just one place. Like, this is.
One place that's an entire planet.
Well,
I
think
know,
about
but this is a game of exploration
Mhm.
and moving around, and now we're going to be in one spot for the entire expansion.
I'm not saying
Look
that.
at-
I'm just saying
look
that is the heart of the expansion.
look at it this
And
way.
we don't know what else is coming with it.
That's true. I mean, we'll see.
These planets are actually huge. If you actually take the time and actually explore on foot, I got nowhere on a planet doing that because the planets are huge. If they actually handcrafted 50 new locations and they were decent sized locations, you could spend a while just exploring one planet.
I mean, yeah, you're
Why would
talking
I
about
go-
a bunch of content.
Why would I go anywhere on foot anymore when I have a Rev 8?
Right? And my
Also
motorcycle when it comes out.
There is no
Dude,
more
dude, dude.
exploring on foot.
Give me the motorcycle that the Varun built.
Oh.
Yeah, head on down the highway.
With
That's what I'm talking about.
the head of their little goat that they have to butcher. Let's talk about these new enemies. All they'd mentioned was their names, the Redeemed and the Vortex Horrors. I've already kind of speculated that there's going to be like these vortexes around Varunkai. We see it in the trailer. I'm wondering if these are some kind of beasts that are like morphed from those vortex, like a break in space, if you will,
Yeah,
Question is, are they going to be as hard as the Terramorph?
or harder.
maybe.
Nothing could be harder than a Terramorph when you're going against them with extreme difficulty.
Okay,
and
listen,
pistols.
Rook, listen, okay? We know Bethesda listens to the show. You can't say stuff like that out loud.
You're gonna get us in trouble, man.
No. I want them to make the Vortex Horrors harder.
I'm still
I'm excited to
like,
see what those are.
I'm still really wondering what is going to be the cause of the name of the expansion. It's still called Shattered Space.
Yeah.
And with these vortexes and stuff like that, I'm wondering if like us going through the Unity repeatedly is not what's causing the space and these vortexes and the shattering and the
Which could lead up to the next expansion
Oh, yeah.
that we've named Starborn on the show.
That would tie in. Yeah.
yeah.
We're like literally tearing holes in space and time every time we go through.
Yeah, I have a
Oh,
strong
that-
feeling that these expansions, these story expansions they're doing, are going to tie into each other, lead into
I'm
major story arcs.
Usually they
so
do.
here for
Yeah.
this.
Usually, I've seen plenty of expansions where they just side quest stuff.
Yeah. But this is too good, man. That's like right up my alley. I love that.
They did mention that Zealots, Spacers, and Crimson Fleet are going to have a presence on the planet.
Well, of course, they have a presence on every planet. so
Naturally.
far.
I would expect the Zealots to have
the
Yeah.
big presence, yeah.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, the Varun will probably have quite a bit of presence on their own planet. I would hope.
I think of those. I think the Ecliptic is the one I'm most surprised to hear that they would have Ecliptic on the planet.
Yeah, I guess that they mentioned something that
Spacers
they're
I
after
get.
something.
Yeah.
How cool would it be if
Yeah.
the Zealots were the next ones you could join?
I'm still
No,
hoping.
I would
I'm
rather
still
just
hoping-
join the Varun, not the crazies.
I'm still
All
hoping.
the-
that,
Rook, did you see all the Andrasia lovers on the stream right now?
Uh-huh.
Just freeze, like,
I'm still hoping that maybe our girl from the Crimson Fleet kind of made her way to this planet
Neva?
and is
Yeah.
and she's
Oh,
plotting her
yeah.
revenge on this planet here.
Plotting her revenge against you.
Yeah,
I love Neva. I wish she could join my crew. I wish I could get her to join my crew. I
she's
love
got
her.
to she's
She's
got to
fantastic.
plot her revenge somehow.
You know,
Right.
as we hear more about this, I will not go into any story leaks. I don't even want to know them myself. So, but if we get more information regarding like the things they're going to be adding to this expansion, we'll definitely talk about it. We are, like Archon said, less than 3 weeks away, so it's getting here.
Yes.
We're in the mode. We're in the mode that the show was when it started, where we were just speculating on the game. Now we're just
Right.
speculating on everything we do know of what's coming for Shattered Space. So
Heck yeah.
So let's talk about this little fake roadmap this person created. I find it interesting because they hit on a lot of interesting points. Like they started from the beginning when they started redoing the dynamic surfaces, the gameplay and survival options, things like that. But after they get past the ground vehicles, they go into new ship customizations, doors, ladders, rotate, so on and so forth. And then, but this thing, when they mentioned, I don't know what they were talking about, save for New Game Plus? Like saving your ship design?
that would be amazing
Mhm.
if you could shade.
I mean-
if you could save your ship designs and then like as templates to where when
That's
you
what I
go
was
to make a
saying
new
before the
ship on
show.
New Game Plus,
Yeah.
that would be fantastic.
Well, even if
Yeah.
you could like keep, because that's not one thing that is explained at all, is what happens to everything and everybody that's on your ship when you go through the Unity. They don't explain that. So
I
why
think that's
couldn't you
something. There's a lot of holes in that story that I think we're going to get
mean,
later on.
like lore wise, I guess. I don't.
Yeah.
Well, it's very simple. We're overthinking this. So you activate the artillery on your ship. Then
Right.
you go through it wherever it's built on your ship. Nobody else is affected by it. That's
they're
the
just-
way they portrayed it.
Yeah,
So
they continue
just-
on with an empty captain's chair, basically.
Yeah. They
God, that's
know
more
you're
depressing.
leaving. I know, right? Because they just see you leave them and say, F you.
Wait, because there's whole conversations with the crew when they talk about what it's like going to be like to go through the unit. I got the impression that everybody goes through.
Yeah,
So-
that they were going to come through
but-
with you.
A little bit of a story, when I say spoiler, is that when you do marry Andrasia in the Unity, they does talk about how Andrasia eventually goes through the Unity herself.
Yeah. So they have the option of going through if
Wow.
they want to or not.
So so
Okay.
one thing I noticed another thing is since I'm playing this with fresh eyes from the beginning. Okay,
Yeah.
Okay.
why is it that in the beginning they touch on the fact that Barrett also gets these visions when he's near the artifacts?
Right.
You
But
can
then
actually
they
get a power
never
too.
But then they never do anything else with that. Like we never hear anything else about Barrett
So-
besides getting the power.
I've never gone through the Unity with him being my partner,
So,
so I
based
don't know if
on
that changes.
based on the information of the game, they're just letting you know with Barrett, they should expand on it, but the first person to touch that artifact gets the vision.
Right, but
So-
none of them. Some of the other ones, like even Sarah, says that she's touched the artifacts before, but she's never had any. No
she
one's
wasn't
ever
the
had
first
visions,
one.
but you and Barrett.
She wasn't the first
to touch
one.
it.
They specifically
yeah.
say the first one who touches it gets the vision.
And it's only Barrett and your character that touches him for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Because they all try to go get him, but they never find him, yet somehow we're the ones that finding him all the time.
Wow.
Even though what's his name Vladimir knows where every single one is and tells you right where to go to get them.
Right.
He knows the signature. And one thing they put on here was right before Shattered Space. So I know this is a bunch of not happening because new ship customizations and the POI revamp, they're not releasing a major update before Shattered Space, people. I'm sorry. It's not going to
Definitely
happen.
not. Not with it only coming out in a
Yeah.
couple weeks.
Now they might tie this all into the Shattered Space.
Possible.
Could be. It could be.
They-
It could
they-
be features that come with the expansion.
But I can see this stuff happening in the future for sure. Like the point of interest revamp, sure. More variety, new layouts, things like that. That makes sense. But not in the time frame they're posting it.
Right.
And in 2025, after Shadow Space, it talks about stuff like a codex for fauna, flora, planets. I could do with
I don't
with
really see him
without
doing that.
That is
Yeah.
way too much work.
You could do it or not. I don't really care. It wouldn't matter to me.
And the reason I think this is someone who's a listener is they named this next expansion Starborn for one. They also put in true survival mode with fuel system and no fast travel. They also put in hab builder and space station building. And
If they
Yeah.
turned on fast travel, they would have to literally make it to where you can constantly go around the planet. Now, to tie into this, if they were to do something like that and revamp points of interest and stuff, your landing zone, once you get to the border of it, it should ask you if you want to move your ship, not tell you to go to your map and choose a new location. It should just ask you
Right.
if you want to move the ship and just make the next spot right next to that landing zone your new zone.
One of the things they have on this timeline I would actually love, because this is one of my biggest pet peeves with this game. Every single temple is
Oh
exactly
yeah, I was about to
the
bring
same,
that one up.
Yeah.
and it's so repetitive and
We
pointless.
talked about it on the show before too. Like it would be
Mhm.
awesome if they changed it around. I like this idea they put in here
Yeah.
too, that correlate with the power that they give.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Make it, like I know you're not a fan, Widget, but like make it something along the lines of like the little temples in Zelda, where
Oh.
like each one's a little bit different and there's little puzzles you have to solve to get to the center, and yeah, make them correlate with what you're trying to do. Like
Actually, have to
Maybe-
use the power or have it something that's related to it would be good. Yeah.
maybe even like if we're now going to this Varun Kai place, maybe there's some new powers we might be able to get.
Or even better, how about when you get the power, instead of teleporting you out automatically, you actually, like tying into what Archon was saying, you have to use the power to get out of the temple.
Yeah.
I don't know, but the same go in there, chase the little thing around for
Mhm.
however long it feels like it until you pass it. It's just why?
Yeah. That's the whole thing with the whole temple
Yeah.
run.
And to have to do it 15 times for each power.
Yeah.
Ugh.
This is the roadmap that they set up for 2025. Some of it is very clearly just made up because this would never actually be in a real
It would be
roadmap.
cool.
Like
I
the
would
fact
like
they
that,
said
but-
outposts like Fallout 4 sim settlements, that wording would never be used in a real one. Optional slow-mo kill cams, again, wording that would never be used. New finisher animations and gore. I can do without the gore.
It's like a maybe
Yeah.
it's like a beta version that they didn't actually release but got leaked. not
doubt
like
it.
an
Yeah.
an
official, just ideas.
alpha version with just all their notes.
So 2026, they mentioned a couple interesting things like the Red Mile 2.0, new trials,
This one,
arena
yes.
battle royale, and gambling system. We've talked about
Gambling.
wanting a gambling system.
Yep, I like that
I
one.
would. I don't know. I don't know if I'd be able to play other games if this game had a gambling system in it.
You hear that, Bethesda?
I would play this game too much if I could sit there and just whittle away my credits or make more.
If they made the Red Mile have different layouts depending upon how many times you've ran it, that would be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But put a gambling system in there, but make it like a pseudo multiplayer type gambling system where you could play with other people.
Gambling,
No.
gambling with your companions on
Not
the
real,
ship.
but not real money. Obviously,
There you
you'd be
go.
using in-game currency, but like you could sit down at tables with other people and play. That'd be
Yeah, that would
amazing.
require servers and so much effort. But yeah, they
Worth
talk
it.
about extreme landscapes and weather, which I really like that idea.
I mean,
Tsunamis,
there's already some
waterfalls, dense jungles, blizzards, sandstorms, volcanoes, things you would
waterfalls.
find
You
on
gotta
the
have
planet.
water for that.
More diverse, yeah.
Yeah.
More
You gotta
diverse.
have
yeah.
waterfalls first.
What they need to do is fix the camera so it takes pictures of the weather when
See, a
you're
lot of
in
this stuff,
weather.
yeah, a lot of this stuff I can see as being a possibility, except for one. They put in more altered New Game Plus, and what they said in there, I'm telling you, is not going to happen because of the programming and the amount of work involved. To like, they said Colony War still ongoing. That would literally change every planet, every system in the game
Yeah.
would have to be changed.
Yeah.
The Rogue AI took control of the world again. Everything would have to be changed, and they're not going to do that. You can't just click a button and
Right.
have it change it.
But you could do the evil constellation. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah,
Evil Constellation is
Where,
doable.
where
That
everybody
definitely.
everybody looks down on you because you're in constellation. Everybody hates you, and they're known as like the bad guys.
Right.
I think they could do the Colony Wars, but that would be
that would be
pushing the
hard.
limit. That would have to be an expansion of its own,
yeah, it would. It'd be huge.
but it would be
No, you
fun.
You slid past this one. I do want to talk about this one. The spacewalking ability to repair and stealth board enemy ships. Which, by the way, that's a typo. So
Yeah,
so definitely not real. But the
I
ability to stealth board enemy ships, EVA, that would be awesome. I'd love that.
I don't know how that'd be possible though, because they would know when
Having
you're
it-
docking.
I was gonna say
No,
having
he
a
said
stealth
EVA.
system.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah, EVA, you'd be going right outside of your own
Well,
ship and
You'd have to create EVA in the game first.
Yeah,
yeah. Well, yeah. That's a good point.
that's one of the ones I skipped over because it's not realistic. I mean, the spacewalking, sure, I can see that
Being able
definitely
to
happening.
Let
being able
me
to have
dream.
stealth
okay?
systems on your ship, stealth system on your ships alone would be sweet.
Yes, I agree. You know
A
me,
use-
I'm all about the
A
stealth.
use for stealth systems on the ship would be great.
Now, stealth systems is really easy to do because everything's based off of sensors and registering what your sensors can see. So
Yeah, you
making
already
it where
have-
you can shut your ship off.
You already have like concealment type perks for your characters, so you can have. I mean,
Yeah, I still think they're going to add a lot of new perks as the expansions happen. I'm waiting for them to say, "Hey, guess what, guys? There's a tier 5 perk system."
I do like the idea of like being able to swim underwater bases. Like
That's one of the things I brought up. Yep,
and
something
I
we've talked
really
about.
like the idea of dungeons. Like if they did something along the lines of like what Enshrouded did with their little dungeons, that would be fun.
Yeah.
It'd have to tie in to the
Well, yeah.
story somehow.
I'm
Not-
I mean, yeah, it's definitely doable.
I mean, you could make the bases more dungeon-esque and make them instants instead of what you're
Well,
running into.
it's a
now.
single player game.
I-
It already is instanced the entire thing.
or tie back to what we were saying earlier and make temples like little mini dungeons where you
Hey,
can
let's circle back around to this.
But I like the idea of when they mentioned oceanic planets because there's one
Yeah.
that I know of.
Yep.
neon.
Neon. That's it.
Yep.
There are oceans on other planets, but
Now,
not useful.
let's remember we are only in a very small section of a galaxy that has over 400 billion stars.
Oh yeah, I agree with you on that. It's the odds of having these planets occur are slim to none, and we've got a few of them. So I'm not complaining
Right.
about that. They've definitely stuck to the realistic science behind space travel, but in some aspects, but the planets in particular. So I don't know. We'll see.
I just really want them. My biggest complaint in this game, and I have a lot of biggest complaints, Earth. I want them to go
Yeah.
and redo the textures for Earth and actually make Earth look like a desolated planet and not a desert.
Again, that's a time frame thing, and that would be cool.
You know, it would be kind of neat. It just popped into my head. It would be fun to do with Shattered Space. Have like a whole alternate, and this wouldn't be too difficult to do. Have like a whole alternate playthrough where when you create your character as a Varun, and you play kind of a similar story where you're trying to get to the Unity and stuff, but you're doing it from the Varun perspective in a different way.
Oh, that could be interesting.
Not through Constellation. Like, if anything, like you're going against Constellation and trying to get to the artifacts first, type of thing.
Yeah, that's a undertaking. That'd be cool though.
Mm-hmm.
And
it would just be a new quest line to add in.
yeah, alternate starts based on. Well, if you think about that, it's actually going to change a lot of every part of the main story.
How?
Well, if you're talking about
gotta
going
have
against Constellation, you have to have alternates for
You
every
just
quest.
show up there the same time they do.
Yeah, but it's going to create a different dynamic. You have to create new dialogue, new instance, new elements to it.
New
It'd be like
companion.
creating any quest line. Like, you gotta create that
No.
stuff for any quest line.
Yeah, that
No.
they already put all the hundreds of hours into.
It would have to be, say, the second, if the Starborn one is really the thing, they would have to actually create a whole new expansion just to start that way, because it's the dialogue changes, the companions. You're going to have to build whole new companions for the player to team up with.
We are going into a whole new expansion.
That's already done.
I'm saying that would be a cool thing if it's in there and they just didn't tell us that you're gonna have the option to play as a Varun, and we don't know.
I mean, that would be cool. It would be cool.
Yeah.
I
It
agree with you on
is-
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
all for that. So
And then
last thing.
The first thing Joe would be doing is trying to steal Andrasia away from Constellation and bring her back to Varun.
Yep.
Pretty much.
It's like, no matter how the story goes, I'm ending up with Andrasia. Dig it.
I have converted. Let's go. The Great Serpent has accepted me. I'll show you my Great Serpent.
Whoa, this is a PG show,
Hey.
sir.
Bleep that out. You better write that timestamp down, would
It's just a snake, pocket snake. They mentioned alternate starts based on your background. That would be a lot of work, but that would be pretty cool. And the last thing they mentioned was expansion, named it Leviathan. So there's a lot you could take away from that. This is obviously not from the Bethesda, so this is just someone's wish
No.
list.
That was
But I
obviously
like
pulled
a
out
lot
from
of this
what-
wish list.
Mm-hmm.
The thing
Yeah,
I
a lot
like
of
about
cool
how that I like about how they named it Leviathan is it's kind of implies that it would be circling back around to the Varun and the Great Serpent.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I didn't even think about that. So let's really quick go into your mods, and we'll have to call it a night because we're going definitely long.
Yeah, be really quick here. I did try to do a little bit of a different thing this time because I was like, all right, my mods section. I didn't have. Look, if you look at Bethesda.net and everything that's new,
Yeah.
you'll notice that there are a lot of pre-built ships coming out right now after Bethesda fixed the glitching within the shipbuilder. So there are a lot of different ships, really cool ships too. Way too many lists here, so I'm gonna skip that. But they're there if you are interested in. So this actually ties into what we were just talking about. One of the mods that I found this week that I thought was pretty cool was Underwater Diving by Ghost Rider 231. And it allows you to actually swim underwater like in previous titles. It is a work in progress. Like they don't have the like the water filter or fog or whatever. So it looks like you're just kind of flying through the air when you're swimming underwater, but
Yeah, you got the
It's
system
there.
built in.
yeah. So, well, and the one of the big selling points on it is that you can scan the different underwater creatures and flora without shooting them. So that is that I thought that was pretty cool. That caught my eye. This one caught my eye just because of how expansive this is. It's called Jake Johnson's Treasure Hunt, no map markers, by Skin Ripper, which is a great username. It adds a total of 238 caches across the star systems that you can go and hunt down. The creator said that there are none in the major settlements, but there are some that can be found in towns and outposts that you just kind of stumble across. And it's all sorts of different gear and weapons that you can find. He says a lot of it is actually visible. The trick is that it's often in hard to get to places. So part of the fun is trying to figure out how you're actually going to get to it, I guess. So that really caught my attention. But a couple of things I wanted to bring up is actually more to do with the mods in my own game. Things that I've used. I did finally install and start using ship part merging enabled by Satyr Machina. And basically, it just makes it so that you can merge and glitch like you could before the bugs. Before the bug was fixed. It's my experience with it so far has been really good. You can overlap. Everything just, if you have one snap point, even if another snap point is blocked that would normally not allow you to put that module on your ship, it'll click right to it. I love it. It was the most satisfying thing ever when I saw it do that the first time. And you can also, to an extent, overlap parts, and you can kind of adjust how much that it'll allow to do that. And the only catch is that every time you boot up the game, you have to reset that setting. And that's just a little tablet that you can get in the game. And if you accidentally sell the tablet, you can also go and repurchase it or find it again so that you can still use that feature. The big issues I've been having this week personally are the alternate vehicles to the Rev 8. Remember we talked about it last time of the Warthog and the Enforcer and the Jeep Wrangler and all that. Not one of them I've tried. I don't know if anybody else has a different experience than me, but also within my mods for my Facebook group, none of us can get these things to work. The Warthog, you can't even activate it. You can't make it your active vehicle. You hit the button A to activate, it won't. It stays on the Rev 8. The Enforcer was insane. I'm like, all right, well, maybe the Warthog's not working. I put the Enforcer on there, and I go to switch over to the Enforcer on the vehicle screen, and it's just a scramble of like textures just going nuts. You can't even see the vehicle. I have no idea what's going on there. I moved it around my load order. I couldn't get it to work, so kind of a bummer, but I'll stick with my Rev 8. Then there was, I mentioned I was kind of swapping out in my playthrough. I was swapping out different habs and checking them out. One of the things that I had downloaded was the Rev 8 Hangar.
Yeah.
Aesthetically, it's kind of cool. It makes no sense, however. As you go into the hangar, and as soon as you walk in, there's a hallway straight ahead. You can go to the right, and there's shelves, and they got little models of the Rev 8 and all sorts of little trinkets and stuff. And then right dead center in the center of the room is a Rev 8. However, it is not your Rev 8. So it's going to be the original color of the Rev 8. It looks like it's supposed to be sitting on a lift that will, pick it up, lower it to the ground. But you can put the hab anywhere in your ship because it's just a regular 2x2 on the outside. Mm-hmm. So I had, I guess, greater expectations for that, and it just kind of fell flat for me. So, but it's there if it's something somebody wants. That's pretty much all I had for the mods this week.
Rook, thank you so much for joining us tonight, man. It was a blast having all four of us on for the first episode together.
So fun.
Heck yeah. About time. Only took us 56 episodes to get us all on here at once.
Well, if you guys want to reach out to the show for advertising or recommendations, things like that, anything business related, starfieldraw@gmail.com is the way to do it. Our Discord is always the place to be. Come on, say hi. Hang out with everybody on there. They're awesome people. Discord.gg/Raw Podcast, plural. R.A.W. PODCASTS. Our Facebook is Raw Podcast. Our Instagram,
Raw Podcast 1.
And you can follow us on Twitter if you're so inclined at Starfield Raw. You can follow us individually. I am at The Wigit, THEWIGIT on everything. And if I'm not, just search it. You'll find it.
You can find me everywhere as some variation of Tomcat213, except for on Steam and X. I am Rook213.
And you can find me on social media as the Archon 606 or on gaming platforms as Quick QWICK_D_606.
And you can find me, Kilo Tango 1122, everywhere.
Thank you so much for listening, everybody, and have a fantastic week out in the stars.
Y'all stay safe out in the deepest black.
Have a great week, guys.
Hey, you guys know, why didn't the dog star laugh at the joke? It was too serious. Dog star, serious? Get it? Come on.